Yo, what up? Special edition of Fly Free Sports. Um, I gotta tackle something real quick. It's just, it's been on my mind. And part of the reason why I started this channel in the first place is to like kind of clear some fucking false narratives or set the record straight on certain things and kind of bring light to certain shit that people may not be privy to, or maybe they just need to hear it again so they can care more about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm here. That was the original purpose for me even starting this channel. So we gonna handle business and set some shit straight. Okay, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. Everybody knows this has been the biggest, uh, one of the biggest sports debates over the last year and some change. You know what I'm saying? Since they played in the national championship the season last year, before this the way this season ended or whatever in college basketball, women's college basketball. But there's just been a lot of talk back and forth about you know, who's more popular, who's the needle mover, who's the draw, who people care more about, who should be talked about more, all that shit, man. We've been hearing all that in sports media, and for the majority of the time it's been on social media. Like, the national media only, they're starting to gravitate more towards what people are talking about on social media in these independent platforms. So of course, national media has to cover it. But you know just looking at opinions of niggas on social media and shit, it's just like people have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, bro. And niggas like me have to come through and clear a few things up, man, for those that might not know. All right, so the first issue I want to tackle is the whole winning thing in college, right? I've heard people use the argument that Angel Reese is more of a winner than Caitlin Clark, right? And while this, it's from a standpoint of looking at the hardware, that can't really be debated, right? Like Angel Reese has the ring, and she beat Caitlin Clark in the championship, right? Like, so that's that's a hard argument for anybody. But what I will say is there's a legit argument to be made. And again, that's why I am here. So first and foremost, we're going to just say off the top, championships are a team driven accomplishment. It is a team accomplishment. I don't give a damn what type of team sport you're playing. It is a team accomplishment. I could see if Angel Reese is out here in the UFC knocking niggas out. That's all on her. Like, this is not an individual sport. This is basketball, right? And having said that, Iowa is not a prestigious women's college basketball program. They were not a prestigious women's college basketball program before Caitlin Clark got there, and they were not a prestigious women's college basketball program while Caitlin Clark was there. Let's just put that shit out there. What does that mean, right? What does that mean? They don't get the best recruits in the nation. They don't. There are no 5 stars on Iowa. The only 5-star recruit that was on Iowa is one Caitlin Clark. The only one. Caitlin Clark is responsible for bringing Iowa to their only 2 championships in school history. They did not go to the championship prior to Caitlin Clark. They will probably more than likely not go there after Caitlin. They probably won't even. Let's just see what Iowa does next year. They probably won't even be heard of again. Meanwhile, LSU, 5-star recruits on their team, right? They'll be around. They still have Flau'jae Johnson, who was a 4-star. So now let me get deeper into this 4-star, 5-star thing, or 3-star, whatever. Let's just get a little bit deeper into this, right? So since niggas want to make the winning arguments and all that shit, right? Let's just use this past season, right? Let's just use this past season. Let's go down the line. Haley Van Lith, Y'all know what kind of recruit she was coming out of high school? Yep. 5-star recruit, ranked 7th nationally in her class. 7th. First at her position. 7th nationally, first at her position. That's Haley Van Lith, who was recruited over there this past season to play with Angel Reese and them. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep going down the line. Flau'jae Johnson, sophomore, right? 4-star recruit. 4-star recruit, man. 26th nationally, 6th at her position. Nationally. This is coming out of high school. 4-star recruit. Flau'jae Johnson. And 4-star might have been shortchanging Flau'jae, but we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that. Angel Reese, 5-star recruit, 2nd nationally, 1st at her position as well. That's already 3. That's 2 5-stars and a 4-star. Already. That's just, and I'm just doing the starting lineup for this team. That's it. That's all I'm gonna do. Michaela Williams, freshman, conference player of the year in the SEC. Freshman of the year in her conference in the SEC. 5-star recruit coming out. A top 5 player nationally. You follow me? I believe I just read 3 5-stars, right? It's 3 5-stars and 1 starting lineup, right? And a 4-star in Flau'jae, who may be the best player on the team. When we actually look at the production, Flau'jae Johnson may be the best player in LSU. She's a complete dog, and she was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. Want me to round this off? Okay. Last spot in the starting lineup, Anissa Morrow, the first 3-star recruit. It took me a while to get there, but she was still ranked 18th at her position in the country coming out of high school. That's just the starting lineup for LSU, right? That's only the starting lineup. You want me to go over Iowa's? Cool. Hannah Stokey, who is probably considered the next best player that Caitlin Clark was playing with at Iowa. You know, people could argue Kate Martin, but if we're going off talent, Hannah Stokey probably is the second best player on Iowa. Hannah Stokey was a 5-star recruit. A 4-star recruit. A 4-star recruit, 45th nationally, 9th at her position. Hannah Stokey. This is like, we talking about like the Pippen. Like if Caitlin Clark is Jordan, this is the Pippen right here. Like that's as good as it gets, other than Caitlin Clark on Iowa. Let's keep going. Gabby Marshall, a 3-star recruit. I don't even know if Gabby was ranked in the 50 best players of her high school class, but she was ranked 28th positionally. So it give or take, 20, 25 slots. Maybe she could have been in the top 50, maybe not. They didn't provide that information. She could be, but 28th positionally, that's a 3-star recruit. Kate Martin, who was the one that stepped up and probably helped Caitlin Clark the most in the tournament. Let's just be honest about it. Kate Martin made a few big plays here and there that contributed to wins. Kate Martin was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. 28th positionally. Just like Gabby Marshall, Kate Martin was another 28th positionally in the country coming out of high school. You see, y'all follow me though. Y'all see where I'm going with this, right? You see how overmatched this lineup is by the one that I just named for LSU. Let's just keep going. Sydney Affolter hit a few good shots, few big shots in a couple of those games in the tournament. Can't take nothing away from her. But Sydney Affolter is a 4 ranked 75th nationally. They didn't even put her position. They didn't even put her position on there. Like they didn't even put her positional ranking on there. I don't know what the fuck she was ranked in the country. I'm at her position. That's Sydney Affolter. And then lastly, of course, Caitlin Clark, 5-star. She was ranked 4th nationally coming out and 2nd at her position. Now, when you just heard all that, what did we learn from that? Did we not learn that one school has more resources, has better recruiting, better coaching? Kim Mulkey is leaps and bounds better than Lisa Bluter or whatever the fuck her name is that retired at Iowa. Kim Mulkey is decorated. Now the average nigga, if you're just watching these games, you don't have no background of the players, you don't really understand what you're watching, you wouldn't even realize that Caitlin Clark not even supposed to be in the fucking championship in the first place, man. So that's just to clear up the Angel Reese winning and Caitlin Clark is just this loser that like she drug a team that's not even supposed to fucking be there to the championship, man. What the fuck are we talking? 2 years in a row. Now, even though they did cheat my girls in Connecticut, like that's another conversation for another video. That was a horrible. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking. That's a horrible offensive foul call at the end of the game. Whatever. We can have that debate some other time. Whatever. But I'm UConn to the heart. Maybe I'm biased when it comes to that. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, two years in a row, Caitlin Clark led Iowa to a national championship appearance, dropping 40-point triple doubles in the tournament, all that type of shit. Like that's never happened in a women's tournament or a men's tournament. A 40-point triple double has never happened in a tournament in college history until Caitlin Clark did it, men or women. I would really just appreciate, man, if you niggas like if y'all just kept it real. This is all I'm saying, bro. If y'all niggas just kept it real and just said, look, I don't fuck with Caitlin Clark because she a white girl and she doing this shit. Man, I will respect that, bro. I promise you, I respect it. Like, then there's no reason for me to even go through all this shit that I'm saying now. We could skip over all the bullshit and you could just say, I don't fuck with her because she white. Cool. You're entitled to that, my nigga. I know what the fuck we've been through in this country, my nigga. Like, I get it. I get it. I get it. But when niggas try to like, when we talking about sports, and then when niggas try to discredit somebody for being who the fuck, like, we clearly see it, right? Like we see it, like we see what's going on. Like we can clearly see that there's levels to this shit. We can clearly see that, but when you try to discredit niggas, come on, man. Like, just say you don't fuck with her because she white. It ain't that difficult, bro. It ain't that difficult, nigga. If stand on your nuts, nigga. Like, bruh, we don't have to have this whole fucking conversation if you just say, look, I don't fuck with look, what the fuck can I say about that? I can't say nothing about that. Like, but I ain't about to discredit somebody as a basketball player. See, that's two different issues. We talking about two completely different issues, man. And I know some niggas can't separate it. I get it. I understand, bro. But just say what you mean, bro. Don't try to say, oh, she ain't this and she ain't that when we clearly see that she is. Like, we're not gonna do that shit. So I hope y'all understand the breakdown of the recruiting process. Some teams have more resources. Some teams have a better means to get better players, hire blue chippers, all that. Like that's a thing in college basketball and college sports overall, right? Understood? So don't give me this shit about Caitlin Clark lost to a whole bunch of 5-star and 4-star recruits. You sound fucking stupid. With her being the only 5-star on the fucking team, dragging them to championships that they've never even been a part of in school history. Y'all got to do better than that. Second, I've been hearing the popularity shit back and forth, like who's more popular, or Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark. Listen, just I want to tell, I really mean this, right? Angel Reese, they're saying Angel Reese has more followers on Instagram, but therefore she's more popular. That is not true. Popularity is based off of economics. Who moves the needle? Who makes the money? Who do people want to see? Who are people lining up outside 3 hours, 4 hours before games for? Who they doing that for? Who's generating the money? Who's responsible for all the ad revenue? Come on. Y'all smarter than this. We grown. Just because somebody has more fucking followers on a social media platform does not make them more popular, especially when one of them doesn't even really engage in social media. There's no social media interaction with Caitlin Clark going on. Caitlin Clark even said herself, I don't really be on social media. She has one, but so does everybody in the world. If you're a brand, it's a requirement, it's a necessity to be on social media. If you have a brand, you have to be on social media. Caitlin Clark is a brand, but that doesn't mean she partakes in all the activities and pull up at concerts with Meg the Stallion and be engaging and all the shit that comes along with social media. So that's a stupid ass argument to say somebody's popular based off of followers. And I understand this is the internet era we living in. It's the internet, and I get it. I get that too. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But y'all get it so fucked up that y'all start thinking that the internet just is the internet is still not as real life. Y'all do understand that, right? Like, there's a real life, and then there's the internet. And to take the popularity thing a step further, right? And I said this before on one of them. I think it was Facebook, whatever. Angel Reese, her junior year when she was at LSU, the year they won the championship, right? Angel Reese was fucking balling the entire year. 23 points a game, 15 plus rebounds a game, going crazy. I'm like, yo, who is this? I took notice of Angel Reese like probably a quarter of the way through the season. And she was going crazy, like far better than whatever she did her senior year. Like, she was going crazy in her junior year. You know, I know she had the problems and shit with the academics or whatever was going on with that. But anyway, like I said, her junior year, she was going crazy, right? You didn't hear shit about Angel Reese. Angel Reese got popular in the NCAA tournament. And I'm going to tell you why. Caitlin Clark eliminated Haley Van Lith in Louisville in the NCAA tournament. Caitlin Clark hits Haley Van Lith, or so she, tried to bullshit and say she wasn't doing it at her, but whatever, Caitlin. She hit her with the shit, and that kind of just like took a life of its own, took on a life of its own. You know what I'm saying? And then a couple rounds later in the national championship, Caitlin Clark, had a pretty good game in the championship. It went crazy. I think it hit like 30, 35 points, 34, but some shit like that. I know she hit 30 plus. But at the end of the game, Angel Reese returns the favor for her future homegirl, Haley Van Lith, and hits Caitlin Clark with that catapulted Angel Reese's stardom right there. Nobody gave a fuck about Angel Reese before she did what she did to Caitlin Clark. Tell me I'm lying. Caitlin Clark is responsible for the fame that Angel Reese now has. The popularity that Angel Reese now has is because of that moment. That shit set off a whole cultural war, back and forth, whatever you want to call it. That shit set it off. Angel Reese instantly got all the support from her people, as she should. Black women came out in droves. I'm talking about black women that don't even watch college basketball. Like, black men, black women, niggas is on board with Angel Reese for showing the white girl what time it was in the championship. That's the real story, bro. And I pointed out that Angel Reese was hooping in her junior, like going crazy in her junior year, and nobody gave a fuck about her or women's college basketball at that time. It wasn't until Caitlin Clark started going crazy, hitting fucking 30 footers and showing her ass and kicking ass and taking names and you can't see me and going fucking crazy all the way to the championship. And then Angel Reese comes in. The stage was already set, right? We got all the little white girls on Iowa, and we got all the motherfucking black girls on LSU. The stage was set going into that championship game. That shit happens. Angel Reese is out of here. She becomes a cultural icon just like that. And I mean, and I'm not mad at Angel Reese for that whatsoever. Like, I'm not mad at that shit at all. I can't be mad at somebody's fame but it's only when motherfuckers try to discredit somebody else as if they not the one responsible for that shit in the first place. Like, I'm not saying Angel Reese is not a good player. I'm not saying she's not deserving of whatever kind of attention she's getting. I'm not saying that at all. But it's just that when niggas try to twist the story and act like it didn't come from where it came from, is when the lines get blurred. You can't fucking rewrite history, man. History is what it is. You cannot rewrite history, bro. Y'all understand that? So, man, now we're in this once again, we're kind of in the same position that we were in team wise, right? Caitlin Clark gets drafted by a team who's had the worst record in the WNBA over the last 2 years. Perennial losers over the last few years. They want Caitlin Clark to come in as a 22-year-old rookie and I guess lead the Indiana Fever to a championship their first year. I don't know what the expectation is from the naysayers, the haters, the doubter. I don't know what y'all expectation is, man. If y'all don't just say I don't really I don't really follow basketball. I can't name more than one or two players on Caitlin Clark's team. If y'all said shit like that and was more honest and upfront with y'all shit, then I wouldn't be making videos like this, right? Now, the Chicago Sky also not a great team, but they have far superior talent than to the Indiana Fever. Like the Indiana Fever are horrible. I think I've watched every game that they've played since Caitlin Clark has been in the NBA. Well, except for the one I didn't catch the one last night against Vegas, but they got fucking smoked in that game as expected anyway. Like that means they're playing the world champions. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they played the Liberty, who Eastern Conference fucking champions. The MVP is on the Liberty. They played them twice. They played Connecticut, who was also in the conference finals last year. They played them twice. And Connecticut, we don't fucking lose anyway. Connecticut shit. Like, I don't give a fuck who playing against Connecticut. I'm rooting for Connecticut, B. What was I at? They beat who did they beat? I think they beat LA. They beat the Sparks. You know what I'm saying? Lexi Brown and Cameron Brink and them. They beat the Sparks. They lost to the I'll almost call them bitches the Sonics. Um the Seattle Storm. They lost to the Seattle Storm as well. So they've probably had like the toughest first 7 games that you could possibly have in the WNBA. Stop me when I'm lying. Stop me when I'm lying. See, the problem is, man, most motherfuckers don't give situations time to develop. Like, even when you watching like a regular basketball game on TV, like niggas will jump out the window in the first quarter. I told y'all, this, that, and the third. Da, 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 da. And then fourth quarter come, niggas getting smoked, and now they don't want to say nothing on the internet. Like, this is a joke, man. Like, but I'm just trying to bring some kind of perspective, man, some levity to this shit. Like, y'all niggas just be jumping out the window with opinions that have no facts behind them. Like, I'm cool with niggas having opinions. Everybody's entitled to a fucking opinion. You hear that all the time. I'm entitled to my opinion. Yeah, you are. You most definitely are entitled to your fucking opinion, right? But have something to support it. You niggas say you niggas just spew shit with nothing to support your opinion. It's just straight feelings. Like, all you just feelings, bro. And a lot of you niggas is grown men operating off of emotions and feelings, bro. Have something to support it, some fact-based shit to support your opinion. Don't just get on here and say anything. You're making yourself look worse. So I just wanted to come on here and clear that shit up real quick because it's fucking annoying, bro. He ain't talking about Angel Reese is outperforming her in the WNBA so far. Angel Reese is averaging 12 points on like 30 something percent shooting. What the fuck are you talking about? Now, I think both of these ladies will be very, very good WNBA players. I really do. I don't want this shit to come off as an Angel Reese attack video because and meanwhile, I don't really care for Angel Reese. Like, I don't like the front running shit. I've talked about that shit on the stream with me and Ben before, how she's a front runner and all that shit. Like, so I don't really fuck with Angel Reese, but this is not to it. This video was not to attack Angel Reese. This is to provide perspective. I told you, niggas. This is why I got on this YouTube shit, right? Because when narratives get blurred, I want to be the nigga to pull niggas out of it. Like, look at this shit, right? Look at this. This is evidence, not just feelings and emotions. But anyway, maybe some niggas don't want that. Maybe some niggas just want to, maybe some niggas don't want no type of clarity, bro. They just want to talk their shit and be on the internet. That's cool too, but say that. If you want to just be a part of the conversation, if you want to just talk bullshit and get a rise out of niggas and all that shit, pause. Then cool, you know what I'm saying? But don't act like you know some shit when you don't know shit. That's pretty much all I got to say about it, man. Fly Free Sports, man. I had to just clear this shit up real quick because you niggas out of hand, man. Like, share, subscribe, all the above, man. Fuck with me.